Hi everyone. Just wanted to record a little video today. There was something I was thinking about earlier, and it was about the new year and making goals and how we go about goal setting. And there was a few things in there. Like at the start of the year, we can be gung-ho and we want to make all this change and we're so focused and driven. And, these are the things we want. These aren't what we're going to get rid of. This isn't what we're going to tolerate anymore. There's this huge momentum. And it reminded me of the seasons of the world, like New Year beginnings seems like spring, when all the life is bursting through and new growth's happening and you see all these amazing things. But then there's something you forget in that, where after spring, there's summer and you have those fruits come into fruition. And then there's another cycle after that where things, you've reached that and then things die away. And then there's dormancy, so the autumn and the winter. And I think personally, goal setting should be more like seasons. So it's not springtime where you start to do those goals and you get the growth, so that it can be sustainable like life, like plants, for example. So when you do your goal setting, it needs to be in the autumn, where you're willing to let some things go, where you're giving yourself space to address, what do I want? What do I need to let go of in order to create the new garden, the new you? So in autumn, you would be putting mulch on the ground. You'd be getting rid of the old dead bits and you'd be getting rid of them so that you can create new life, so that you can nurture what else could be there. So you're making compost, I guess, out of your own life. Good compost. So then you have the winter, you have the dormancy. Sometimes you have to allow that rest to realize what you actually want. It doesn't always have to be about doing and being driven and achieving. Sometimes you need to just take that step back and go, okay, refocus, reset. What is it that I've always wanted? What is it that holds me back from that? And what do I need to let go of or realize or come to terms with or balance out or accept in order to get that? And there's something about winter as well, like it gets us to look at that shadow side of ourselves. There's this darkness in that, the same as winter can have darkness, where we're willing to sit with our fears and our hurts and our triggers and not bring them into the new garden that we're creating. So draw them out gently and hold them and thank them for trying to protect you, and find ways to let them go. Find ways to find the blessings in those. There's always a lesson, there's always a gift in every single one of those things that we deem as negative or hurtful or bad, for example. But it's not really bad, it's just resourceful and unresourceful, healthy or unhealthy. So, because it's all about lessons and learning. So sitting in the winter with that, and instead of looking at the negative connotations of why you've held yourself back, let's put some love in there. Let's put some love into that darkness and find a way to come forward with our goals, not because of what we don't like about our lives or what we don't like about our patterns or ourselves or, our history or whatever it is, but find things that you love about your life and the life that you want to create. And so you're projecting that onto your future goals going ahead and your growth, instead of the negative connotations attached to it. And if we've got that heart space attached to that, we're more likely to achieve what we want, because it's done out of love for ourselves instead of done out of fear and your triggers and your hurt and your history. So it's more about staying present and aware of what you want. And that keeps you focused. That is where you get the growth that is going to be consistent and it's going to be sustainable. Because when you're coming from a place of hurt and fear, that's not your natural state. Your natural state is to feel centered and grounded, and complete isn't the right word, but something similar. I didn't write anything for this. It's all just, here it is. So looking at that and attaching a good feeling towards it, instead of like, I'll give you an example. One of mine is about my health that I've let go of over the last 4 years since my accident. And I know I'll never be fit like I was before because of my physical restrictions that I have now. I'll always have this disability. And I'm coming to terms with that. I'm mostly all the way there. There's still a little bit of grief in that. So my body can't move the way that it used to. So the physical things that I used to do are impossible. But my diet, I can absolutely have control over that. And so instead of eating all the carbs and all the junk food and comfort eating because I can't do the things that I love anymore, I'm choosing to fuel my body with whole foods instead. And I've noticed a change in my behaviour, and I feel more whole. It sounds funny, like junk food, junk brain, whole food, whole brain. But I can see that correlation in me. I can see it in my skin. I can see it in my cycles. I can see it in the way that I'm more calm and more collected. And I'm choosing me more. I'm choosing healthier things for me because I'm eating healthier. I don't know where that is, whether it's a subconscious choice or not, but it is there. So attaching that love to that, instead of going, I'm fat and I don't want to be fat, you know, oh, I've always swallowed my feelings, or when I can't express myself and I have so much that I want to come out, I stuff it all back down again with food. I'm not happy about something, so I'll shove food in and I will comfort myself absolutely with food. So instead of dwelling on that, I'm looking at nurturing myself instead, and attaching that lightness and that love towards myself and the future me that I want. So I want the future me. It's not about fitness anymore. It's not about that body that I used to have anymore. It's about being healthy enough to enjoy what I can do. It's about being fit enough to be able to have more adventures with my children, to be able to have more adventures for myself, to be able to get out there in nature and be able to walk to the top of that hill with my ankle strapped to buggery. And yes, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I can walk. I'm grateful that I can walk on the beach again now. So it's not that I'm focusing on the things that I can't do. It's attaching the things that I can do and what I love about my future, instead of what I've disliked about my past. So putting that all into motion with the seasons. So you're letting go of things in the autumn. You're allowing yourself to go into the darkness of winter and to sit with the things that are hurt and just hold them gently and let them be seen and just let them all go away into that compost that we're creating, so that then in the springtime we can have that love there and that forgiveness for ourselves and the future us. So attaching the love to the future us and what we want to create with our lives. And then that growth will come through in the spring. So you're allowing that to grow and to come into fruition. And then in the summer, that's where you see the fruiting, when you're having your goals come to fruition, the same way that a tree can bear fruit. And then you're going to have the next stage. What are you going to do with that fruit? Are you going to take some of that you've just created, and are you going to grow it into something else? Or are you going to say, yes, I've reached that, I'm going to enjoy this moment, and now I'm going to go plant a new tree? So it works the same way with goals. You can't just go all in spring and expect that cycle to continue without looking at it sustainably, without looking at how you can carry all that you've learned and all that you've had into the future and do it with love. That's the key. So, seasonal goals. I wish you well. And if you want to talk about how to build those goals and how to sit with some of those hurts and how to put love onto that instead and into yourself instead, hit me up. See ya. Thanks.